So welcome to the relatively early March book wrap-up.
Intro?
Okay, so let's get right into it. The first book that I read was A Fashionable Indulgence by KJ Charles. I can't really see stuff. And it was mediocre, or maybe not mediocre, average, as all the other KJ Charles's books. So it was about a man who's from the gentry and is interested in a non-aristocratic man. Just a romance. All my previous critiques still apply. I will link the video where I rant about this author a little bit. Anyway, 3 stars out of 5 Victorian gay romance. That's it. The next one was Bridesmaids by Sydney Smith. That book was also not very great, just not... You know how those Hallmark movies where there is a woman with a successful career but then she moves back to her hometown and falls in love with like a apple farmer and then they get together because she didn't really like the big city? It's that but gay and with a wedding in the background. I don't know, 2 stars out of 5. It wasn't a revelation. The next one was Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone, which is my favorite, one of the 2 5-star reads that I had this month. It's a romance, definitely within the characteristics of the genre. Nothing groundbreaking, but I love both characters. I mean, I really like the heroine. I think we could be friends. I definitely have the hots for the guy. I think he was a very attractive partner. And the plot is very amusing. I'm not going to spoil it too much in case anyone cares, but I do recommend it. I also really enjoyed that it was prepared in a dialogue format. I have a whole video about it. I'll link it somewhere. The next book was Make Mine Magic by by who? Shanna Swandon. That book was also kind of utilizing romance tropes. It was a fantasy romance. It was also, I think, an Audible original and exclusive. But the book was very, very shallow. There was no backstory, virtually no context to the relationship. There was a magic system, and I know that there are soft magic systems, but this was like a soft magic system, meaning there weren't any hard rules governing it, but in a way that bothers me because it was clearly just serving the progression of the plot. So not the best book ever. It was okay, like I don't really have a lot of harsh criticisms about it. It's just that the relationship was not a very well established. We are supposed to assume that there is unspoken chemistry between the characters, and that's never a good thing in a romance novel. So it's just something that if you had a choice between... There are kids in the tower. If you had a choice between reading a book and doing nothing and you'd rather read a book, this book would like suit your purpose. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't really bring anything to the table either. So like 2 stars, but not like a painful 2 stars, if you know what I mean. The next book I read was The Martian by who? The Martian by Andy Weir. 5 stars, excellent experience. There was a constant tension in the book. Something was always happening. It was always building up to something, but I truly, truly enjoyed it and I truly recommend it. It's a story about a man who wasn't picked up in an emergency lift off from Mars. So he's like left behind on Mars is what I meant. It's about a dude left behind on Mars and how he's trying to survive all the solutions he's implementing And also at the same time you see what's happening on his cruise ship and back on Earth, where they try to solve the question of how to bring him back to our beloved blue planet. So that's how it is. There's a lot of numbers, and I would recommend getting this on audiobook rather than in paper format, because there's so many numbers that it really helps if somebody is narrating it. I love the numbers, but I love like sexy emotive numbers. So I'd rather, if I was to read a text where it said, I have only 78 potatoes left and 5 gallons of oxygen, then it's like, okay. But if you get an audiobook, you get the I have 78 potatoes left and how many gallons of oxygen left. So, like some more emotions, and it really brings something to the table. Get the audiobook is my point. And the last book that I read, I think I'm going to finish up a couple more before the month ends. But the one that for now, I only read one more book. It was No Prince Charming by A. Payne and V. Blue. And it was a retelling of Cinderella. And I found it really frustrating. The plot of the story is that our Cinderella is working in marketing. Her company is employed by this billionaire, whatever industry he's in, like a magnate of some industry, I imagine. And I don't imagine, I know. And her evil stepmother is the boss of the company. She has only one evil stepsister, and the evil stepmother truly is on the way of marrying her father. Her father is still alive, they should get married, and she's just a little tiny gray mouse who never wants to cross the stepmother or the evil stepsister, because she doesn't want to destroy the relationship between the stepmother and dad, because she feels that dad deserves to be happy. But it's kind of a very contrived plot, because why would she suffer? And there is some blackmail storyline and stuff like that, but she's really just doesn't really have a lot of strength of character, accepts everything that's dished out at her, and that's it. There are certain stereotypes as to what romantic leading men in romance novels are, and like the type of people they are, which is assholes, and their love interest is a classic romance novel asshole. He doesn't really bring much to the table except for money, and also it's so stupid. Like we're supposed to believe that our main heroine is so original, and it's like, no, there is nothing original about her. There's nothing special about her. She's just an average girl, but they're really trying to push this she's not like other girls narrative. She's not like other girls because she wears high heels in the bad weather. She's not like other girls because she paints her nails navy, and that's like our guy really fixates on that. He's really has the hots for the navy nails of our girl. Really, that really does it for him. And also, he's just an asshole. He offers her alcohol when she's not into it. He's really pushy. He makes her come up with certain business strategies on the spot when she's not prepared. It's a very frustrating read, especially since the Prince Charming doesn't have much to recommend him. Really, I can't really think of anything. He's supposedly very, very hot, but he keeps pushing her boundaries. Doesn't really accept her. No, I don't want to sleep with you because we have a professional relationship. Like, that doesn't scream the hottest man ever to me. So yeah, that's it. I have also, the books that I started and haven't finished are the Sandman auditory experience. I don't know if it counts as an audiobook, that it's available on Audible. I also started Leviathan Wakes, but I just began it. There is one more romance about a guy who has a French bulldog, but I don't know if I'm going to finish it because it doesn't really seem like a good thing. And the main character, his livelihood depends on this French bulldog, but he doesn't seem to be a very good owner, like neglects basic training, I don't know. And something like exceeds expectations, something that whenever I see it in my library, I think it's a It's an information, like, to me, not a title of a book, but this. And I don't know, it's okay, very cheesy. But it started with this piano music, like, this experience is brought to you by so and so. In it, there are included several musical standards and songs. We hope that you will have a pleasant time. And it's said by the male narrator. And I thought that they would be just very nicely arranged jazz standards played every once in a while. But it's like he's speaking, then he comes on a scene, starts singing, and without any background music, he goes, "My funny Valentine," like without any preamble. And I really don't like people singing a cappella, especially not like in this. They teased with this background music, they teased that I'm going to listen to some songs, but I just listened to a dude sing, and I'm not into it, but I'll let you all know next month, I guess. And yeah, that's it. Thanks. If you enjoyed book videos, subscribe or comment. I don't know. If you have any book suggestions, you can also leave them in the comments. Down below, I have all my social media linked in the description. And for now, bye-bye. Have a nice day. Hope your weather, wherever you're at, is as nice as mine.